I just want to first just open up and, because this is the first time talking to the media, just say from Ohio State men's basketball, our thoughts and prayers are with the Bryant family, Vanessa, their children, the LA Lakers organization, and everybody that surrounds that situation, that tragedy. It's obviously shocking news for not just the sports world, basketball world, but just everybody, that followed the impact that he's had on society and life. And so our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved in that situation. It's just a horrible, horrible tragedy.
As long as you're on the subject, have you had any interaction with him, or do you have any Kobe background in you at all?
No, outside of just watching him compete and listen to him. I remember him and Nick Saban. I listened to them, talking about what it takes to be champions. He had went and spoke to Alabama football, and then stayed after and talked with Coach Saban, and they had aired that conversation. But my best buddy, best friend from college, he coaches with the Bulls now. He called me last night twice, and I was working, and so I didn't pick my phone up. I tried to get him back this morning, and then when he called me, I started thinking. I said, man, I had totally forgotten. He got drafted in 1996. That same draft. I was in New Jersey up there with the draft in '96 with Iverson, and Kobe went 13, and my buddy went 22, and I just started thinking. I was like, man, you didn't even process. I was at that draft with him, and the one thing I saw, and I listened to a lot of stuff just because you can learn from greatness. And the one thing I sent my team last night, because I grew up on Jordan and Pippen, they grew up on Kobe and now Steph Curry and all these guys, is Kobe came and he made a great quote, and this is right before the retirement, and he made a great quote about how when he walked into the league, all he thought was inwardly. And when he left the league, as he gets on the brink of his retirement, all he can think is outwardly. Who has he touched? Who has he impacted? What kind of difference has he made? And it just shows the transformation. That's what he talked about, his transformation from Lower Merion at 17 years old, being a 13th pick in the draft, to now, obviously, going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer this summer. But from a father standpoint, the thing you think about is my kids were napping. I had no idea. I was watching tape. My brother texted me, and I was like, "This is what is he talking about?" And then my wife texted me from the back when she was trying to put the kids down, and I was like, "Man, let me check and see if this is real." And I remember when I was a young kid growing up in Virginia, Northern Virginia, Len Bias passed, running down the swimming pool to let everybody know, because they were all in swim practice. It was 10 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, and sprint down there to tell everybody about Len Bias. And so, but just watching Kobe's interaction with his children and knowing how I feel about my children, and thinking about walking out to the game every day and seeing Cass and Francie and Jackson, man, and knowing just in those moments what him and his daughter, what their embrace was like. But man, it's just, life is, it puts, you wish. I text our team, I said, I text a lot of the guys, I said, I wish you could live your life every day thinking the way you do on days that tragedy happens, because man, we'd all be a hell of a lot better, wouldn't we, if we could keep that focus. That's what's hard to do.
So to your team, what did Terrence give you on Saturday?
Man, offensively, he gave us great energy, man. I mean, went to the glass, competed hard. I thought he played really hard. I didn't know if he was even going to play. He was out. What was that? Oklahoma State. He was out. We needed him to play because Trey was out. And then we threw him out there. And I thought the second half, like I said, he really competed hard. He went to the glass. He got some putbacks. Man, a couple big threes, open threes, you wish he could have hit. Then a couple of defense assignments broke down on Okoro. Gambles closed out on top of him where you need to close out short. And I thought Okoro made a couple big baskets late, but I thought he really competed hard, and that was big for him.
I think he's probably the guy on your roster that's been, showed some things, but obviously his playing time has been wildly inconsistent, and I'm sure there's reasons for that.
Yeah.
What is the challenge to get anything close to consistency when you see some of the things that he's brought, and obviously that third guard spot has not been a beacon of offensive success for you guys?
Yeah, it's just, can he be consistent? And I mean, you look at, what's, the 3-point line, obviously, that's his biggest strength. He's 7 for 21, on the year, I think, on the year, but maybe like 1 for the last 10 or something. Can he be consistent in understanding what we're trying to do offensively? Like you watch the Baylor game, he checks in the game, first catch, it's a 1-pass 3, contested, and he knows it's a bad shot, but he knows it's a bad shot after he shot it. I think it more when you look at Terrence, it's being efficient on offense, and then on the defensive side, being solid. You know what I mean? It's those big plays with Okoro, that's 5 points, in that last stretch in a 10-point game, 8-point game, 6-point game, those are big baskets. But he's got the size and the physicality, like you saw him get on the glass, to where if he could become consistent, he could really help us.
Do you have an update on Trey?
He'll practice today again, but it'll be no contact. His mask is supposed to be in tomorrow, from what I was told last week. He's still questionable for the game Wednesday until we see how he kind of practices the next 2 days and how this mask works out. But I would say right now he's questionable, more so questionable than doubtful.
That's a broken nose for him.
Yeah.
Steve, the way you played down the stretch against Auburn, turning them over, feeding transition that way, is that as close a good blueprint as you've had to how you need to play winning basketball down the stretch?
Yeah, I just thought we missed open shots against down there, but I thought we just competed better. The 3-point line in the first half killed us. And it just, they shot it better than they shot it, but also too, we weren't in the right positions where we needed to be, and gave them too many good looks. And their credit, they made them, but I thought that was a game where you could be down 10-12 and still be right in it at the end. Vanderbilt was just in that situation a couple weeks ago. And so I talked to our guys about that throughout the course of the game and in scouting. But I thought we did. I thought we competed so much better in the second half, on the glass, on both ends, offensively and defensively. And then we got to, starting to where we started spreading them out and attacking the basket, doing a couple different things in the half court to open some things up. But, we just, like I said, Terrence makes that 3, it's a 1-point game with 10 seconds to go, and you got a chance to win it or tie it regardless of what happens, with your last possession. And so, I felt good going down to the Auburn game, like we would have a good chance to be right there in the mix. But, again, we kind of lost with that first half. The 3-point line the first half really killed us. But, we just go through some moments defensively. We just not dialed in or not competing the way you have to compete to win against anybody, home, road, anybody worth their salt.
Tonight on the opponent 3-point shooting, all year has been an issue. Does it come down to execution, or is it luck, or what's?
No, it's execution and focus and effort. Some are contested. There was a couple they made that we were like, man, I wish, if everybody made those contested, our numbers would be better. But no, we gotta compete better. Now they did make. Purifoy made one with his hand in his face, but he's got size, so he can shoot over you a little bit at times. But we gotta compete better. We gotta be more efficient and more detailed and focused. We just a couple possessions, we just given way too many wide open looks.
Is that getting in rotation, bad closeouts, just not attention to
I think attention to detail. Yeah. 1 or 2 maybe closeouts. Getting in rotation. But man, there's a lot of first possession drive and kick 3s where we're just the one play. We're talking about Terrence. He's the one that not to jump on him, but he overhelps. The guy's not beaten. He really overhelps, and we give him a penetrating kick 3 to where he should be stunting and staying at home. Those are the breakdowns that have killed us. all season long from the 3-point line.
When you look back at that first game against Baylor, what's the biggest thing that you think needs to change going into the second time around?
We got to guard the ball. We got to guard the ball. We got to do a great job on Mitchell and Butler, keeping them out of the paint. We got to understand what our vital rules are and do a great job with matching his toughness. And then we got to be physical around the glass. Got to rebound. But the number one thing, if you had to pick one thing, we got to guard the ball a lot better. We got to compete a lot better on the ball. We play too passive on the ball. Afraid to get beat off the dribble or whatever it may be. We got to be more aggressive on the ball. The way people try to get into us, the teams that we struggle with at times, the people that really try to, get into us. And Baylor's going to try to do that. It's going to spread them out, but we got to guard the ball. That's the number one thing. Offensively, we gotta make shots and we gotta take care of the ball and do some things, but we gotta guard the ball. We gotta keep Butler. We gotta keep Mitchell. We gotta keep, Maceo. We gotta keep them guys out of the paint, and Bandu. But they got depth on the perimeter. Bandu was the big difference in the Florida game off the bench.